That's me, flying in the front seat of a super decathlon aerobatics airplane. I'm flying by myself there, and it's probably one of the proudest moments of my life. How did I get here?
I did my first discovery flight shortly after graduating college, and I hit my first milestone in aviation pretty quickly. I soloed in the Cessna 172, and even though I was nervous for my first solo, it was then that I felt like I was becoming a real pilot flying the airplane by myself.
A year and a half after I started training, and after being signed off to do my solo cross countries, the stress of being a software engineer at a startup had gotten to me, and I slowly stopped flying. I started flying again during the pandemic, and this time training in a Diamond DA40. It was faster and cheaper than a similarly equipped Cessna 172, and had a much better view out the bubble canopy. And to help myself study for the written exam, I started using an online course. It made learning the material more interactive and easier to digest. New work from home rules allowed me the flexibility to fly more often, and the flying came back to me quickly. A little over a month after restarting lessons, I was preparing for my first solo. Here I am landing the DA40 back at Palo Alto by myself nearly 2 years after my last solo. It was a beautifully calm day, and I remember feeling more excited than nervous for the flight. I was surprised by my own confidence in the air. And after completing the rest of the private pilot flight requirements, and after many nights and weekends of studying and tireless preparation, I took and passed my private pilot check ride February of 2021, and officially became an FAA certified private pilot. The private pilot certificate is often called the license to learn, since as a pilot, you're given the opportunity to explore the world of aviation on your own while still being relatively new at it. And this is where things get more interesting. As a private pilot, I'd explore the newly granted freedoms fully, taking friends and family flying, exploring the small airports around the San Francisco Bay Area, and gaining more confidence and experience as an aviator in the process. I also made new friends along the way that made flying trips even more fun, and we pushed each other to be better and safer pilots. Now that I was more comfortable flying straight and level, it was now time to pursue aerobatics. But before that, I needed to learn how to fly tailwheel airplanes. Almost every single aerobatics capable airplane is a tailwheel, with a few exceptions. Learning tailwheel flying also required learning a finer touch on the controls and remembering to always keep the airplane flying straight on landing. Learning to do wheel landings with a heavier instructor in the back also required more precision than normal. It took me many tries to finally learn the wheel landing.
Okay, go.
After receiving my tailwheel endorsement and signed off to fly Cetabrias, I flew it up and down the Northern California coast. I loved the simplicity of the Cetabria. The rudimentary avionics forced me to focus my attention outside. The simpler operations, like having no flaps and no constant speed propellers, compared to the DA40, made the flying feel more analog and connected. The Cetabria was a perfect beginner tailwheel plane. It had the charm of an airplane from an older era and the classic characteristics of a tailwheel. It behaves relatively tamely on the ground and on landing, and the front seating position for the pilot made the forward visibility relatively unobstructed. Although I did fly from the back seat with my instructor a few times, and when I did, I got a newfound appreciation for tailwheel instructors, who see very little from the back seat yet are tasked with making sure each landing from a student is safe. I took my intro aerobatics lesson in a pit special, as it was what was readily available to me at the time. I wanted to make sure flying aerobatics was something that I actually enjoyed doing, despite fantasizing about it all these years. And it turned out to be everything I imagined it would be like and more. The lesson really solidified my passion for aerobatics. I started training a little closer to home in the much cheaper but still very capable Super Decathlon. The transition from flying the Cetabria to the Decathlon was very natural, and I quickly shifted from learning how to fly the airplane to learning how to fly aerobatics. So first, I learned how to recover the airplane from a variety of airspeeds and attitudes that I might encounter during a badly executed maneuver to straight and level. This is different from the typical unusual attitude recovery encountered during a private pilot training, as all those are done right side up. One important aspect of aerobatics recovery is inverted recovery. It involves building the intuition to roll the airplane right side up instead of pulling into a split S and potentially overstressing the airplane. Then I learned how to spin the airplane and recover from a spin both right side up and inverted. I came into this portion of the training with some apprehension, as during all of my prior training, I've been taught all the ways to avoid spinning the airplane, and now I'm doing it on purpose. At the end of this training, I definitely felt more confident as a pilot. I've experienced what the plane behaves like all the way up until it spins, and I know that I can recover from it. And then we moved on to learning the basic maneuvers and executing them correctly. After being able to perform the basic maneuvers safely, my instructor suggested that I try my luck at a competition. It's a great opportunity to meet and learn from other aerobatic pilots and see where your skills stack up. Although aerobatics is an individual sport, everyone works together as a team to make sure the event goes smoothly and safely. Here I am taking off on my first competition aerobatics flight in the middle of the desert in Southern California. After takeoff, I turn left to head towards one of the holding boxes. There, I wait for the chief judge to call my name over the radio to let me know the competition box is mine. After entering the box, I started my primary sequence. Here I am doing a 1.5 turn spin, setting the down line, and then pulling to the straight and level. After setting the straight and level, I pull up to execute a half Cuban 8. As I near the top of the loop, I ease some of the back pressure on the stick and look for the negative 45-degree downline. And once I see the downline, I roll the plane right side up and pull for the straight and level. One of the joys of being an aerobatics pilot is being able to share it with others. After being signed off to fly without an instructor, I took my good friend Jay, who's also a pilot, up for his first aerobatic flight.
910 to Kilo Pop Tower, left umpire departures approved, runway 31 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 31, clear for takeoff, left umpire 0 Delta Kilo. Okay, mixture forward, prompt forward. Fuel is on. Alright, ready? Finals clear, runway's clear. We're clear for takeoff. As we lift the tail off, the gyroscopic precession will turn the plane to the left, and then we'll correct now with the right rudder. Ready?
Ready to go.
Alright, full power. That's 60, lift off.
During our flight, we did Jay's first spin in an airplane.
Want to do a spin?
Sure. Sure.
Alright, so plenty of altitude.
Never done this before, ever.
Alright, plenty of altitude, we'll pull 45 degrees up. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, push down. Power idle. Okay, wait. Bury it, kick it. Half. 1. Recover.
Wow.
Pull, throttle, pull. Alright.
Beautifully done.
I then took my hesitant but still willing wife up for aerobatics as well. She actually enjoyed it enough that she came up for a second flight with me. I realized that not only do I love flying aerobatics, I love sharing aerobatics with others. And if you've made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video. Thanks, and see you next time.